Yeah. Start the Sanhedrin. Daf Pei Gimel. I guess, yeah. Pei Gimel. So the Gemara is discussing over here on Pei Beis and Beis. Nice. The Shai was a Kohen that was Tomei. He was Tomei. And he served in the Beis Hamikdash. What's his status? What's halacha? A Kohen that was Tomei that served in the Beis Hamikdash. What's halacha? Is he Chayav Misa v'Dei Shemaim or not? Definitely not allowed to do that. Question is that a Chayav Misa v'Dei Shemaim or no Misa v'Dei Shemaim? Is there any punishment, a heavenly punishment for this guy or not? And it came into our Gemara because we want to bring a raya from our din. It says the Gemara at the bottom here, Eisvei. So what did he paskin? Not Chayav B'Dei Shemaim. Once they bring a raya, there you are. Then you want to say no raya. What's Eisvei? Let's see. Really, it's a raya. Eisvei. Hayotzek. A man that we talk about bringing a carbon outside the Beis Hamikdash, or a person that's not a Kohen does it. It's just like this. We're going through certain avoiders, certain things that we do in the Beis Hamikdash, and the guy's doing it in a way you're not allowed to do it. We'll go through the cases. Hayotzek, which means the guy's pouring oil. He's pouring oil onto the mincha, and that normally you put a Kohen does it in the Beis Hamikdash. Or haboilel, he's mixing the oil with the mincha, with the you bring to the Beis Hamikdash a mincha cake and you mix it. Apoises, you make the mincha into pieces. Hameleach, he salts it. Hameinef, he picks it up. All these things are things that you do in the Beis Hamikdash properly. Hameinef, hamegish, he brings it close to the mizbeach. All this guy puts the shulchan. He organizes the table, puts the lechapanim on the shulchan. Or ameitvis haneros, he cleans the neros on the menorah. In the menorah. Meitvis haneros. Akoimetz, he takes off a kmitza from a mincha. A makabel domim. Or a person, the shechita taking place, and he goes ahead and he's makabel the blood. Chutz. You do this outside the Beis Hamikdash. He does this outside the Beis Hamikdash. All these avoiders. The common denominator of all these things is these are avoiders. And if you do it outside the Beis Hamikdash, then you got to be potter. Why? Normally, the one that avoider outside the Beis Hamikdash is chayav. Here you potter. We'll see in a second why. The no Chayav Misa or Chayav Kares only for shchita. If she yishchat or somebody brings up an offering, but all these other avoiders are not the final avoider. There's another avoider after these avoiders. These are avoiders sheshachar avoider. Accepting blood. There's another avoider called spritzing the blood on the mizbeach. Or meitvas haneros, cleaning out the menorah. There's another avodah afterwards called lighting the menorah. So since these are avodah sheshachem avodah, learning from a pasuk that the pasuk says that one is not chayev if one does it outside the Beis Hamikdash, since these are not the final avodas. Meitvas haneros, all these things. Pata, there's no chayav misa, but any chayav lei, and you're not chayev. A bunch of things, not only outside of Beis Hamikdash. Loy mishum zaras. If a zar does it, that means a non-Kohen does it in the Beis Hamikdash. A zar does it in the Beis Hamikdash. He's not a Kohen. Terrible thing. He's getting involved in something he shouldn't get involved in. Yeah, as terrible as it is, but he is not going to be chayav misa. He's not chayav zaras. Not chayav zaras. As a zar is not chayav. V'lo mishum tumah. And if he's tamei, also he's tamei. A tamei guy does this to mincha, or a tamei guy does this to the menorah, or any of the above mentioned avodas. He is now doing this b'teiras tamei, terrible thing, but no misa. If he is a kohen and is not wearing the big ikuna, then it's not an issue. It's an issue, but no misa. If you didn't wash his hands, this week's parasha, one has to wash the hands before you do the avodah. If you didn't wash his hands, normally the pasuk says, wash your hands in order not to die, indicating that if one does not wash their hands, then they do die. But these avodas, if he doesn't wash his hands and his feet, and he does these avodas, then nothing happened. He won't get killed. Mikte chayev. Mashma, if he will be makter, do the final avodah, do the ketara. Ketara's mincha will be chayev when he is tummy. Wasn't that the shaila that we're discussing? That was a shaila. So when he does avodah b'tumah, he's a chayav misa now. So he says these things, there's no chayav misa. Mishim tumah. Mashma, only because these are things sheyesh achrei avodah. In the list, we did not say somebody that's makter. We didn't say makter. Koimet, kavadamim. If someone puts it under his beach, it's not part of the list, implying that in such a case there will be a chi of misa. So that was our shaila, wasn't it? That was our shaila. Is there chi of misa when someone's makter b'tumah? Says the Gemara, no. My love, misa. Don't you think it means misa? Says the Gemara, Azara. No. What's your diuk? That it doesn't say here Aktara. Says mashma there'll be a chi of misa Aktara. No. Loi Bazara means he only all happened is he's overlav. It's Malchus. That's it. Not more than that. No misa. Never misa. No riders misa. And Azar Nami. Lazara. Azar too will get Azara. So Azar, when it says Zaras, Azar does avoida would only get a lav because we are equating it. It's equivalent. But the pasuk said Vazara Kar Yumas. Vazara Kar Yumas. Vazara Kar Yumas. Says more no Hagdusa. Not necessarily so. We're just saying these people are not chayav. Zaras Tumah, and so on and so forth. What will be if a guy is a zar? Then he'll get misa by other avodas. Get misa, but it doesn't mean by a guy that does it tumah will get misa. We're just saying when you're not these avodas, one is not chayav for zaras, not chayav for tumah, but by avodas that you are chayav, then they'll be different. The Torah will be only alive, and zaras will be misa. Zaras will be misa. Says the Gemara, "Bichlal the yoyte geboilel lav namiloi." Says mashma that by these avodas, you are a zar, you're not a kohen, and you pour the oil on a mincha. You can say no lav either. But Tanya, azar the yoyte geboilel minayin. Tamad loyma. The pasuk says there is a lav. Kedoshim yiyu v'lo yechalalu. Says kedoshim yiyu v'lo yechalalu. Have the Gemara midrabanan on the cross machtam alma. That's what midrabanan. The pasuk is machtam alma. It's not a real thing. It's a drabana across the alma. Beis, Hele hein shemisa. Tomish shemish. This is a knockout question. Says the Brisa. Hele hein shemisa. Tomish shemish. There, Tomish shemish is going to be misa. Have they wanted to of the abgeschlacht. Yeah, this is taka raya. Here's a raya that if Tomish shemish there is a chi of misa. End of the sugya. Not much to do about this. This is it. This is what it is. Says the word gufa. Elisha misa gufa. Elisha musa. These things are going to be misa. These avoiders be misa. Which things? We said before. A guy that eats tevel. Tevel is produce that you have not yet taken off truma from. You eat tevel. A kohen tamei she'achal truma Torah, or a kohen tamei that eats truma Torah. Kohen tamei eats truma Torah. He's tamei, not allowed to do this. Or v'zah she'achal truma. A non-kohen eats truma. It'll be Misa. A non-Kohen eats Truma. It'll be Misa. The Zar Shemesh, or a Zar that does avoid the Beis Mikdash. The Tamei Shemesh. A Tamei that's Mishimesh. Tamei Shemesh. A Tamei does avoid the Beis Mikdash. It's Misa. That's this Brisa. That's the Brisa that was our before. Tamei Shemesh Misa. Utvul Yom Shemesh. The guy went to the mikveh already, but it's the same day of the tefillah. You have to wait for nightfall. Tvul Yom Shemesh. Umechus begadim. A man that's mechus begadim, a kohen that is a kohen, is not wearing big ikuna, does avoida, gets killed. Umechus kapara. A guy has to bring a carbon. He has not yet brought a carbon. Mechus kapara. Shleirochet yidai reglayim. He didn't yet wash his hands on his feet. Shleirochet yidai reglayim. All these things will be misa, as we know. Pasuk this week's Sanhedrin. Shosu yayin, a guy that's drunk, a drunkard, does avoid the Beis Mikdash, gets killed. Or Priya Roish, his hair is too long. What's called too long? As she says, 30 days. Growth on your head of hair, 30 days, that's going to be misa. A kohen has to take a haircut at least once a month. If it's more than that, it's misa. All these above mentioned cases get misa. Aval oral, but a kohen that doesn't have bris milah. But oinon, he lost a loved one, and he's an oinon. V'yoshev, he sits down. All these things are awesome. You can't avoid like this. V'yoshev, einon b'misa, edabazar. All these cases, there's no misa. There's only a lav. Enemy edabazar. Balmom. Balmom, Rebbe over Misa. And Balmom, Rebbe says, Misa, Chamorim Razhara. A Balmom does avoid the Beis Mikdash. He has a blemish. He has one limb longer than the other. The Balmom. Rebbe says, Misa, Chamorim Razhara. Good. Is the Misa by a Balmom that does avoid the Beis Mikdash. Heidin B'Me'ilah. The guy is Nene from a Kodesh that has Me'ilah B'Mezit. Heidin B'Me'ilah. Rabbi Ayma Misa. That means he goes to the Beis Mikdash and he takes something and he has enough from it for his own personal use. Hazed B'Me'ilah. Rabbi again B'Misa. Rabbi is very machmir over here. Normally for the carbon. So what's not base it? So by Shoigig it goes against this chalal. That's the machlekes here. What happens to Mezit? So Rabbi says B'Misa Chamer B'Azhara. For Shoigig it becomes this chalal. But the Issa applies in the Mezit. Where's the Makar? Somebody Tevel, Misa, harsh. Little drushes today, little drushes. Hazed Essa, Hazed. How do we know? How does the Issa Misa with Echel Tevel? Damashmul Shmosem Shimon Leza. Minayel Echel Tevel Shuba Misa. How did this Tevel gets Misa Shtichsiv? How did this only Tevel gets Misa Shtichsiv? As Kach of Israel, you won't desecrate as Kach of Israel. Asher Yerumul Hashem, Asher Yerumul Hashem. Asher Yerumul means what in the future you're gonna have to take up truma. Asher Yerimu Hashem, Yerimul Hashem. You gotta take truma. What does it say over there? I see literal because of Daber. Okay, it doesn't say Misa. So we say this possibly Chalalu over here means going on truma. Don't desecrate Kach of Israel, Asher Yerimul Hashem, which means that something you have to take truma from. See the mitzvah because of Daber. Yalev chil metruma. Here it says the word v'leichalalu, and we learn the Zera Shoavei. It says by truma also a lashon chilul. It says by truma is lashon chilul. Umeisiboy ki yechalalu by truma. So learn the Zera Shoavei. Mala halav misa afkam misa. Like there by truma, it's clear in the pasuk. If one eats truma, a zar eats truma gets misa. It says that about chilul. Here too, you'll get there'll be misa. There'll be misa. Very more of a nail of chilul min noisa. Zera Shoavei chilul. Then we learn it from noisa. So kiyas kodesh Hashem chilul, and there is no misa. There's different misa. There's malahan bekaris. Afkam bekaris. There's karis, not misa but it's karis. Different. Maybe he's been karis. So we have a shayna. Should we learn truma out of? Should we learn tevel from truma, Ushlum Tevel from Noisa. What do you think? It's a better comparison. Truma have a melech. Truma and Tevel is better tushel. Why? Shkein Truma. First, both of them have a chiyuv to take off something. They're taking off them. That's a common denominator. Number one. Number two, chutz la'aretz. They both apply in chutz la'aretz. Don't apply chutz la'aretz. Sorry. Mashing Noisa applies in the midbar. Shas het Noisa is going to be in chutz la'aretz. Truma is not a chutz la'aretz. Next one, hutra barabim. Hutra barabim. Right. Hutra, where's the hutra? Right. You can make it mutter. Because truma, you can mechal it. Mehefresh. Right. And the kind of a heta to eat it is a heta. Mashin noise is no heta. Barabim. Lashon Rabbi Chalalu. Noise says the Lashon Yachet. Peiros. They're both fruits. Marshain Kin Noise is meat. Pigel v'noisa. Pigel v'noisa don't apply to Tevel and Truma. I need to catch it. That's why it's a better tushtel. Tevel to Truma than Tevel to Noisa. Adar says, Adar, we Noisa have learn from Noisa. Why? Shkein, Noisa is a better tushtel. Shkein posel, oichel, eile heta. It's both apostle. I mean, by Truma is not apostle. They pass Truma doesn't is psula guf. It's not a din nechefza. Noisa Tevel, the problem is the food. Truma is psula guf. It's about the person. There is in the Torah. It says Misa is about the person, not mitzad the chefza. Masheg and Noisa is both on Tevel, both the problems mitzad the oichel. Okay, shkein psul oichel. They're both fruits. Eile heta b'mikveh. Eile heta. Again. Noisa have a melech shkein posel oichel. Eile heta. What's eile heta? Right. The case of Truma, the man can go to the mikveh. Come to the mikveh. The pasuk about Truma is talking about the man's top of it eats it. You go to the mikveh. So it's more hadach lafishon. The tushtel to Truma was better because they had more reasons to compare them. Hadach lafishon, they're more. Vinama chil the ram adif stam the drasha v'chalalu lasharav that trumps. That's the main drasha. Says more of a kohen tabashachal Truma Torah minadam. Where's the kohen? A tam and a kohen eats Truma Torah. Where do you know there's a chiyuv misa? The man's tummy needs Truma Torah. Also, misa. Where do you know from? The Amar Shmuel. Vinay kohen tabashachal Truma Torah. She misa with the Yishmael. The chsiv. The shomres mishmarti. Keep the halachas. Leaves it on chait. And it says there, the beloy musu. Torah and tmei eloi. Oh, sorry, a new thing. Shomres mishmarti. And then it says that it's the lav. Shabbos Mishpat leads you on chait. Right. Now, says Gemara, Amar Torah and Tmei Eloi. Mashma, a new thing. So Tama the ate Truma. They ate Truma Torah. Mashma, he ate Truma Tameya. A Kohen Tame ate Truma Tameya. What's halacha? A Kohen Tame ate Truma Tameya. That won't be Misa. Maybe Kohen Tame ate Truma Torah Misa. Truma Tameya not. That was Shmuel Amr Blaza. A Kohen Tame shachal Truma Tameya. A Kohen Tame eats Truma Tameya. They are a good match. How do they eat Misa? There's no Misa. Shnema. How's it says? Umeishu boy ki chalalu. Umeishu boy ki chalalu. Prat. The Zush Mechledes made that is Umeishu boy ki chalalu is only applicable when till now everything was good and fine and dandy. But if it's already in this chalal, I mean the Truma is Tameya from before, and there won't be Misa. There won't be Misa. So they were bizarre. Sha'achal is a Truma. Bizarre sha'achal is a Truma. Amarav, Zar sha'achal is a Truma loika. Amarav. Zar sha'achal is a Truma loika. Zar that eat Truma get malchus. Zar sha'achal is a Truma loika. Obler of Kader of Asil Rav. Lema, which Misa? Zar eats Truma. A non-kind eats Truma. gets Malchus. That's his Chiddush. Omer Canada Vascular Rav Lema Mar Misa. Why only Malchus? Azar only gets Malchus. Lema Mar Misa. Mishtei gets Misa. Why? Pesif. Bechalzar. The Yechel Kodesh. Why? Look at the pasuk. It says, "Umeis Beki Chalalu." Chalzar Yechel Kodesh. So the Hamshcha pasuk mashma. There's going to be Misa. There's going to be a death penalty. There's going to be a death penalty. So what are we saying? So it's mashma that the Misa of Umesu boy ki chalu is going on with Chazal Yech Kodesh. Says the Gemara, Aniyah Shem Bekadsham Hifzaginian says Umesu boy ki. It says Aniyah Shem Bekadsham. Then it says Umesu ki chalu Aniyah Shem Bekadsham Chazal Yech Kodesh. Since yes, the Torah interjects with the word Aniyah Shem Bekadsham, Torah, that's not a hemshach. Meisvei. Eilev Shem Misa. These foreign people get Misa. Zara Echas Truma. Zara it's Truma. So Rav said Zara Echas Truma only gets Malchus, no Misa. Zara it's Truma only gets Malchus, no Misa. This Bryce says Zara Echas Truma gets Misa. Says Mavastita the Rav Kramis. Yasin Kasha Rav on the Mishnah. Rav Tade Palik. Rav can argue the Mishnah. You're right. The Bryce hold that. Rav disagrees. Rav holds no Misa. Rav holds no Misa. Rav holds only Malchus. No Misa. Only Malchus. Azar Shimish gets Misa. Azar Shimish. Azar that Shimish. How do you know this? Azar Kar Yumas. Obvious. Azar that Shimish. Azar that avoid the Beis Mikdash gets Malchus. Azar Kar Yumas. A Tamish Shimish. A Tomei does avoid the Beis Mikdash. How does Misa by a Tomei does avoid the Beis Mikdash? Says the Gemara. How does Zar Shimish, Tomei Shimish, can the boy Menei Rav Chia, Bar Av Merav Yosef? Minai the Tomei Shimish even Misa. How did the Tomei that Shimish is Misa the Chsiv? How did the Tomei Shimish is Misa the Chsiv? Dabra Lahara Banov Inazri Mekach B'Nei Yisrael. Lo Yechalalu El Shem Kachi. Pasuk says, Dabar Lahar Rabbanov, Inazri Mekach B'Nei Yisrael. Lo Yechalalu El Shem Kachi. Lo Yechalalu. Now to talk about Tom and a person. It says, Inazru, stay away when you Tomei. Lo Yechalalu. Okay, what does it say? Lo Yechalalu. Doesn't say it gets Misa. Yalav Chil Mitrama. The word chil, it says over here the word chil. It says the word chil about truma. Mala halava misa, avkava misa. Like over there to misa, who did over here it's misa, avkava misa. Mala halava misa, avkava misa. Same again as before. It says the word chil over here. I get it. It also says the word chil by noisa, and by noisa is kares. That's why you learn out misa, learn out kares. Mala and kares, African kares. Like this, Kares. Who did here should be Kares? Kares, African Kares. Says we're Mistabra, Mitruma Havlin Melech. It's a better tushta to learn out. Avoid in the Beis Mikdash from Truma than from Noisa. Why? Shkein Guf Tomei. Both are the person's tummy. Both of person's tummy. Tomei Shemish and Tomei Truma. They're both a good comparison. They're both the problem. It's on the human being. The man is tummy. Noisa, the pizza is also to eat. But here we talk about two cases that are similar because they both got to do with the chefza, guf, tummy, mikveh, right? And you can go to the mikveh. They matar themselves. Barabim, both are lashon rabim. Chalalu, lashon rabim. For Adar knows how to have a melech. Better let knows why she can kodesh. They're both kodesh. Better learn from kodesh, not truma. Panim, they're both inside. Pickle v'noisa, and they both have pickle v'noisa. But truma, there's no pickle v'noisa. The most important drasha is the word itself. since by Truma, it says a word, Chilal, Lashon Rabim, Lechalalu. Lashon Rabim. Here it says also Lechalalu, Lashon Rabim. So that's a better drush. Good. It says with Tfiliyim Shemesh. Last one. Is it last? No. Tfiliyim Shemesh. You have a Tfiliyim that does avoid the Beis Mikdash. The Tfiliyim does avoid the Beis Mikdash. Tfiliyim, you went to the mikveh and he hasn't yet waited for nightfall. Nalon, how did the Tanya have small Oima? Remez the Tfiliyim She'im Avad Chilal. We have a remez for Tfiliyim does avoid the Beis Mikdash. Like desecrates the avoid them in Ayin. Habaloim Apostle says, Kadosh Yiyu Leiloi Heihem. You should be Kadosh. V'lo Yechalalu. What's this for Yechalalu? Can't be talking about Tamek. We know that. He made it in the Tamek Shemesh, Nafkalam of Nazru. Can't be talking about Tamek Shemesh. We know that from Nazru. Stay in the Tfiliyim. And we look at it, little for Tfiliyim Shemesh. Yalev Chilal B'Truma. I'm not exactly sure B'Truma. Ba'al Misa, I've Misa. Like that Misa. Put in here is also Misa. Ba'al Misa, I've Misa. Good. Mechus Begadim. How did a Kohen that doesn't wear Begadim get Misa? Where's the Makar? Minalan, Amr Vo, Amr Bechler, Matva Shoavei, the Reb Lazar, Reb Shimon, V'chagar to Ois Avneit. Pasuk says, V'chagar to Ois Avneit, V'hois Lem Kuna. Says in the Pasuk, you put on the big Kuna, last week's parsha. You put on the big Kuna, then you become a Kohen. V'chagar to Ois Avneit. V'zman Shemigdeim Aleim. When you're wearing the Begadim, Kedas Baleim. When you're wearing the Begadim, you are considered a Kohen. Ein Bigdeim Aleim, in Kedas Baleim. If you're not wearing the Begadim, then you're not considered a Kohen. Not a Kohen. Avnei Zarim. You are considered Zar. Zar Shishimish Misa. Zar Shishimish is Misa. Zar Shishimish is Misa. Interesting Gemara. There's a Rebbeinu Tam was asked. So maybe if he's not wearing big Dekuna, she be allowed to marry a Grusha. She'll be allowed to marry a Grusha. No, there's no, there's not a Kohen without big Dekuna. Says about Mechusik Kapara B'Nalon. How do Mechusik Kapara? How do Mechusik Kapara that there will be a person that didn't yet bring his carbon? How do you know that he does avoida? Does avoida he will get misa? Amar Avhuna Amakrav Chipalei Kohen Tahara. Says in the pasuk Chipalei Kohen. Chipalei Kohen is referring to the carbon that he brings. He brings the carbon and then Tahara. The carbon that he brings will make him tar. Chipalei Kohen Tahara. Klal shehi tameya. Mashma without bringing the carbon, he has a din tamei. Amamar tamei sheshimish misa. We said before, tamei sheshimish will get misa. So you see, without the carbon, it's considered tamei. And tamei, we said before already, that is misa when they will do avoida when it's tamei. When it's tamei. Next one. Vishloi rochti dariglayim. If he didn't wash his hands and his feet, minalon, how do you know that? Siv. How does the Misa punishment when one does not wash hands and the feet? A Kohen comes to the Beis Mikdash and he doesn't do Rechitzis Yadayim Reglayim. How does it going to be Misa? Says the Gemara B'Nalon D'Chsev V'Vayim Al Moed Yerchatzu Mayim V'La Yemusu. After the pasuk, as it says, V'Vayim Al Moed Yerchatzu Mayim V'La Yemusu. You'll come there. You'll do the avodah. You won't die if you wash your hands. Can't wash his hands. Next one, Shiur Yain. Shiur Yain. How do you know the guy does avoid the Beis Mikdash when he is drunk? Then there'll be Misa. So the Gemara says, Yain v'shaycha al teish. Don't drink Yain v'shaycha. And what it says, I think it says v'lo yimusu. Must be. Yeah, that's what it says. I love the end of the pasuk. Yeah, it's after the pasuk. The guy does avoid when he's drunk. This is a chiyam misa. Pru roish, how do you know the siv? Roish shamlei galechu. Uparalei yeshalechu. He says if he doesn't cut his hair, sibasrei v'yai v'yishtu. It's psukim in Yecheskel. Psukim Yecheskel. So it seems to equate the din of having long hair to drinking wine. Right. Iskish prerosh the Shiur Yain. Mash Shiur Yain Misa. Prerosh Misa. Mark Shiur Yain and Misa. But in pre-rosh, it's going to be misa. Pre-rosh is going to be misa. That's the makor. That'll be misa for a drunkard that does avoid the Beis Mikdash. That's not okay. Can't avoid it when you're drunk. No, can't avoid it drunk. Aval oral oinen yoshiva are these next list of someone done the bris milah, or he sits down because avoided. That's only Azara lav. Or Menalan Amr Chesed of that Torah Shoavei Loileman Ashbei Cheskel. There's no pasuk in the Torah. Comes to the pasuk in Chesed says V'chol Benecha Or Leiv Or Basa Yav Abin Shasher should say. So the pasuk Or Leiv can't come to the avodah Beis Mikdash. And so tomorrow we're going to finish the parak. We're going to start the 10th parak and the 11th parak is already the last parak in the parak of a Gadata, total Gadata. Chelik.